Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. Today we are making our first battle report of 2025 and it's going to be a 2000 points express battle report. So we're not going to film everything, every single dice roll. As you can see, it's going to be for Dystopian Wars and I am joined today by...
Zongo, hello everyone.
You know him as well, and we have a new player on Dystopian Wars because the community keeps growing, and we have today...
Camille.
So welcome Camille for your first game. And what are you guys playing? It's going to be 2 versus 1. I'm going to play the Sultanate. It's been a while and they got some boost. I want to try again some Egyptians and also some Turkish. Turkish surface because the Turkish aerials are still very bad. What do you bring, Zongo, today?
French.
French, okay, very well. And Camille?
French too.
But of course, you know that French is the most popular faction by far in France.
In France,
but
yeah.
Also the miniatures are very beautiful as well. So of course it's popular, I think, in other countries as well.
Yeah, we're not on each other.
Yeah. And it's going to be 2000 points. As we have said, it's going to be a fun scenario, just clashing. And we will show you the map, but you can already see a little bit at the bottom of your screen. There's going to be a specific win scenario. Without further ado, we're going to go for the presentation of the scenario and the list. But remember that you can give us a thumbs up to help. And if you give a comment, you gain a chance to win either a Conquest Duegum army, or you can also win some Union aerial armada that you can play as Honorable Eclipse Company mercenaries. With that being said, let's go for the scenario. Okay, here is the map for this scenario. As you can see, there is quite some open ground in some places, but there is also this giant arch, and of course, a lot of points, a lot of victory points to whomever can go under the arch and cross it without dying. So I played with a lot of a lot of points in each activation because we play this. We're trying to make it very fast because it's express. I don't have much time to play personally, so I'm sorry guys. This is how it's going to be. I have 6 activations. I have the Rétage. It's been a while you've seen this guy with 2 Carolus attached. I will try to play it a little bit nicer than last time when I made it charge. This time I will try to make him survive because he has Mark of Fate. Mark of Fate is kind of like... no, he has a Dark Hand, so it's like automatic cancel of a valor effect for free without a card. It's the new version of Devil's Unlock. So very strong capacity. I also have the Valit Kosem, which is basically the Oriflamme that they have, a battle cruiser with 4 attached Temir and some escorts as well. He has Focus Gunnery, Sharpshooter, and Mark of Fate, which is Valorous Conduct. Not the Valorous Conduct, which is Fortunes of War. The only difference is only the first time is free, kinda. If you want to use Fortunes of War more than once, like Mark of Fate, you gain disorder each time you try to attempt after the first one each round. I also have the Mehmed, which is it can remove disorder, which is good. I gave him particle beamers. He has a mirage, so he can teleport around, and he also has Mark of Fate, so it starts to be like 2 automatic cancel per round. So that's really good. I also have a top capi, so the aircraft carrier that has portals. It's going to be very helpful with an ID and with logistical support. So I'm going to have 1 extra card, very well. And finally, let's start with this. We have 2 Carolus, so the strong destroyers of the order. They're going to be able to try to protect the carriers here because this is the Tanis, another carrier with all the little scarabs. They got a little bit of a boost in terms of range, and the Tanis is a bit tougher and cheaper now because Egyptians really needed some help. And now I have 2 Assassins which can be attached, which means that I put them there. They're going to be hidden by the mass of the Tanis, so it's going to be difficult to shoot on them. And then when the time is right, because those guys are very fragile, they are skimmers, so they can pass over the Tanis and charge down the enemy. It also has 4 escorts. But it's going to be very fun. And last but not least, for sure, I have in unexpected arrival this Chaska Colossus. And it's basically, you've seen him one-shot an Avalon. Well, there were 2 of them. But I'm still hoping very much that he will do more this time, especially now that we know that he doesn't kill himself by charging because it's a Colossus. That's it for the Sultanate. My plan is, well, I don't have a plan. They will go forward, we'll see how it goes. And I will play with portals probably because there is some synergy in the list building, but plan-wise, I don't know how it's gonna be. Now, what's it gonna be? I see that you separated between the white and the blacks each side of the table.
Yeah.
So Zongo, what do you bring?
So I'm bringing 2 Chevaliers with double heavy magnetic bombard. So yeah, for terrific long range capabilities. And yeah, it's quite cheap for what it does.
Okay.
Then I'm bringing 2 Furieux with full hit lenses, so you guys know it.
It's very subtle.
Yeah. And 2 Voliere as well for some SRS capabilities.
Okay.
I'm bringing my Unreal ship, my Commodore, which is a fish.
The fish.
So named
After the Maréchal.
Oriflamme? Yeah, named after the
Maréchal Flèche, and it's an Oriflamme. It's a custom Oriflamme that is very good.
Yeah, so my battle plan is actually to go enter the arcs with my
There's gonna be
my Unreal, and that's it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a meeting between the Mermed and the Fesh. We will see how it turns out. And finally, Camille, what do you bring here?
So today I bring 2 Charlemagne.
2 Charlemagne, very well, with gun batteries.
Exactly, because I love big gun and big boats.
Ah, don't we all?
And beyond we have the Oriflamme with
The
4,
normal Oriflamme.
Oh yes, with 4 écuyers. So yeah, the basic one.
Good combo.
Big gun. 2 épaulards. So classic.
Little artillery support, very good.
Yeah. And in reserve, 2 Furieux. So in case I need to attack in close combat boats.
So they can cross the map, because I let's be honest, I will try to kill these Furieux before they arrive next to me. Those guys, they're going to be in reserve, but they don't have a specific battle fleet that is in reserve. It would require the entire battle fleet to be a faction battle fleet and to be out of the map. So they will rely on a good dice roll to try to come from the first turn or the second turn, etc., etc. So they're counting on their luck. Okay. So that is going to be the scenario. As we've said, like, we take a little bit of time to present the fleet so you understand how it's going, but then we are going to make few activations and almost not show any dice rolls. With that being said, the Alliance has the initiative. No, sorry. Yes. C'est qui qui avait l'initiative? C'est nous? Okay. The Alliance has the initiative. Let's start with the first few activations. Alright, we had the first few activations. First, those 2 Chevaliers came forward and with their heavy magnetic bombards did 6 points of damage on the Tanis. So it was a lot, and he was magnetically locked. It was very bad. Like, he had a good roll, but his 28 dice is at long range. Like, it's powerful indeed. Following what, I activated my top capi, just coming closer and sending all the SRS so that at the end of the turn I will hopefully kill this guy. But that's not the end. They then activated the Fesh, getting closer and especially going out of line of sight from my Héritage. And he sent some torpedoes, also doing nothing. And finally activated the Tanis, doing my portal shenanigans. You can see there are quite a few of them. The Sultanate is quite stronger with portals now. I used them to send some repris on the Fesh. There is 10 of them. I'm just running out of repris token, but now the Tanis can send 10 of those. That's very good. And I sent a heavy torpedo salvo plus 2 small torpedo salvos, doing 1 point of damage, sadly, only, on this guy. As you can see, we have a new way to count the number of health lost. It's those handmade, and as you can see, he has 3 hull points left in white, which means he's in battle ready. Following which, I repaired myself, gave myself a health point back, removing lots of things. I already consumed 1 card. That's how we are now. Next activation, the Charlemagnes are going forward. Yeah, but unfortunately, they will not have line of sight on anything. We reached the end of the first turn. We're going to make the SRS attack because, yes, there's going to be quite a few of those. It was mostly a turn of positioning, 1 flank from another. Those Furieux shot their hit lance, 8 dice, doing 17 hits, making a critical damage, no more defense. On the Tanis, he is 2 hull points away from being crippled. Here, the Mermed did also a critical on the Fesh with its 4 particle beamers, doing nothing with the torpedoes, and okay, it's going to be a little bit weaker. The 2 Volières with their torpedoes actually managed to make a critical, even though he made a good defense roll on this guy with the torpedoes. So he has 4 hull points left, and he's navigationally locked, which is going to be hard to make him go around. Especially, you can see that the Volière also put all the SRS here, so I really have no chance to do the funky maneuvers. On this side, the Valid Kosem and its troop were not in range, same as most of the units there, but the Héritage with its portal shenanigan actually did a helioblast on the 2 Charlemagne before the whole fleet gathered around, and he actually did 2 criticals which were the same. It was Citadel Breach which means they are only 1 hull point away from being crippled. Because he was at the black level of disorder, he took extra morale, because those weapons are arc and hazardous. So add to this citadel breach, he was going to be at the black level straight up. We will resolve the SRS tokens. So as we have seen, 8 SRS there, 10 repris on the Fesh and 8 SRS on the Chevalier there. And we will meet at the beginning of the second turn. Okay, we did the SRS attacks. Some went better than others. The Mermaid did a great defense because I used the card, and he actually only got crippled and had the -1 on this side because the 2 critical damage were the same, but he's still alive and kicking, ready to hold the gate. The 8 repris with Devastating did not a crazy roll, but they did manage to leave the Oriflamme crippled, and he has 2 hull points left before he starts to sink. And on the other side, though, this was a crazy roll. It was something like 34, 35 hits. And this poor Chevalier got obliterated. And this guy got hit in the explosion because he got 8 damage exactly. The last one was the explosion. This guy got damaged and he was a sole survivor, but it was repaired because we used our last card to try to repair what we can. I especially repaired the defensive line of the Tennis. So this is the end of the first turn. Second turn will be very lethal. We have our cards, so we made our bet. Let's see what we have. And so they use their double activation to gain the initiative. Good job, 59. It's hard to beat that.
You have double defense.
Yeah, that's true. Knowing that actually someone forgot his card, so we are using my deck cut in two. So it means I will not have this double activation either. I'm a bit sad. No, I want some. Okay, so initiative to the alliance.
Double activation.
2 double activations? We will see later. Initiative to the alliance. All right, we started the first activations of the second turn, and the first activation they did was to activate those Volières to charge down, and it was the objective indeed to do this. And so the Volière crossed the arch and he won the game, like the really like game, not the war, but he did the objective. So congrats on the alliance, that was a good game. So like and subscribe. I'm kidding, we're still gonna play. But yeah, he did it first. It was a little funky mission and he succeeded. He sent all the SRS on the Mermaid. He sent it on the Rétage, because of course it's my main threat. What I did after was activating the Tanis there, and I did a really good activation. He went there, put a portal here, another one next to him, sent a reprise on the Furieux that is here. And as you can see, he already got some damage. He has 3 whole points left because I just shot him. We'll talk about it. But he also has 10 reprise SRS. I don't think he's gonna see the end of the turn.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Let's be honest.
But at least he's crippled, so he didn't activate yet, so he's gonna take some damage. I killed one of the Furieux with 10 gun batteries, 6 from this guy and 4 from those attached Hashashin. He was one shot, the Furieux. The torpedoes crippled and did a critical on this Volière. Very good job, guys. And the broadside from those 3 ships, without the escort because it doesn't work, did cripple this guy and made him come a little bit closer. So the Tennis went from being very bad to being actually a good ship. Yes, you need to have portal support because the replies are shorter ranged, but with some portals games, you can really use it. And now, yes, it is expensive, but I feel that it's a good ship, like it's worth it. Let's hope the Turkish aerials will get such a glow up as well at some point. What I did do is the Mermaid went there, he teleported, he had navigation log, but it didn't matter because Mirage, I just put him in the right direction. He killed Ho, and he crossed his turn the entire arch. He went all the way there with all his very fast movement. He shot and crippled this guy, and then he did a boarding action on the Oriflamme right there, and he actually finished off with the Carnage. I used the card to boost +2 freight. And the Oriflamme, the fish, the command ship of the White Alliance, is sunk. So that was a lot of lethality on this side of the map. And now it is the turn of the Black French. Those guys activated also already, but barely managed to do 1 whole point on the Mermaid before he moved out. And now they are still all those guys that are his main source of firepower. All right, we are advancing in turn 2, and it's being quite a slaughter for the French. The Furieux is hidden down there, but he didn't manage to kill the Mermaid because it was the same score for the boarding that happened all the way down there. Can we even see? If I go like this?
Well, I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure, but now we can barely see that there is a ship hidden there. And yeah, he didn't manage to do the boarding action that he wanted. On this side, the Épaulière killed Temir, and then the Valide Kossem moved forward, killed an Épaulard, crippled, and he's almost dead. This Charlemagne, and that's it. The Oriflamme, with all its écuyères, shot everything at the Valide Kossem. It was a double citadel, but since he has auricalistic construction, it doesn't count as a catastrophic explosion. Still, he exploded, so all the 3 frigates there are damaged. There are only 1 hull point left. We're going to make the last few activations of the turn. The Rétage is gonna activate, and our new player is gonna learn that the Helios Blast might be annoying when you pack so much. And of course, the Rétage is gonna do a lot of work. I'm gonna send my SRS tokens from this guy, probably to finish off whomever is gonna be alive somewhere there, maybe the Volière, and we're probably gonna finish this game at the end of turn 2. Let's finish all of this, including SRS, and we'll see the status of this Express Battle Report, end of turn 2. All right, we have finished the second turn, and to our big surprise, but it was lots of glass cannon from the French, but the alliance has been tabled. On this side, there was of course Helios Blast and broadside through the portals and good heavy torpedoes and everything, and he actually killed the Oriflamme, the escorts, well, the 4 écuyères were caught in the blast, the torpedoes killed 1 Charlemagne, and that's it. Second Charlemagne and the Épaulard were killed by the SRS tokens of their carriers there, and then their 2 Furieux failed their role to enter the reserve. You need to have a 1 chance out of 2, unfortunately, no. Let's say they saw how the battle was going and they decided not to come. And my Chaska arrived here, he made a double ramming, some shooting, and the crippled Volière and the other Volière were killed without much surprise. And also without much surprise, the Furieux that had 3 hull points and 10 Répélier SRS token also died. So, whoa, that's a victory for the Alliance because they went first under the arch, but the Alliance was...
completed the objective.
The Alliance was tabled at the end of turn 2, while the Sultanate lost 1 frigate. One frigate.
Yeah.
1 Temir frigate because I didn't counter the car.
Yeah.
It's, well,
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
There is like 1 legionnaire with a flag still there saying we crossed, but yeah, we made some custom rules. The lists were not competitive, but it was fun. And we can see that the order is very strong, but this we knew already. But I was pleasantly surprised by the new version of the tennis. Now it feels worthwhile to bring it. Okay, let's go without further ado for the debriefing. All right, that's it for this Express Battle Report. We hope that you still enjoy this format. I know usually we have good feedback about being very short and just showing the key actions after they happen and not showing any dice roll. It was more lethal than we thought. We were just had a discussion before about how lethal the game can be. And yeah, having the entire Alliance force being completely wiped out turn 2. Yes, there was some chance, some luck and everything. But still, it's supposed to be 5 turns game, and I did have a good list, and there was some little mistake. But in the worst case, turn 3 it would be completely over. And as you can see, we do have a lot of terrain, and even with this, it's still very lethal.
With a lot of terrain and not any aerial model. Still,
and still we could hide. And should we play more like hidden? But we were thinking that we put so much terrain because we need to be hidden turn 1 in our deployment zone, because otherwise you just get crippled. Like I had 1 ship, like the Tennis, that was not super hidden, I didn't pay attention, and almost crippled outright if it wasn't so tough.
Even 2 standard cruisers.
Yeah, just 2 standard cruisers almost crippled this guy outright.
Gigantic carrier.
Because it was just a little bit outside of the island, and we feel like it feels almost like a Warhammer for 40,000 like this. Like you really need to hide everything and hope to survive until you can activate. And does it feel like a naval battle? Not so much. It's a very fun game, but we're just discussing the feeling of the game.
Yeah.
So, we don't know. We heard like there have been confirmed rumors that 4th edition is coming at some point. We hope, and we heard that the lethality is going to be lowered, and maybe there's going to be less models because we can play such large games because we know that it's going to be finished at 2,000 points in a few hours of gameplay. Maybe we're gonna have to put lower scale battles later on when it takes forever to kill a battleship as it's supposed to. We will see then. But for now, we're having fun, but we have to deploy these lists like this. Talking about lists, what did you guys think of your ships of the Alliance? The Furieux, the Oriflammes. I know you're not a big fan of Oriflammes. Well,
yeah, I've never been convinced with Oriflamme indeed, and I'm not sure this game will change my mind. Because it's an expensive ship, really fragile.
Yeah, fragile.
And yeah, well, it's not super convenient firearms as well because it has a rear turret. And just it gets shot by pretty much anything.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. Yeah,
so not convinced.
And not super efficient firepower either. The basic Oriflamme is cheaper, and you can put a generator to the rear, so it's easier to pilot, and that's how you usually do it. But yeah,
I was expecting a lot. I was expecting a lot from Command Codes, but I didn't get to use it.
Yeah, that's
so I'm not sure.
Sometimes.
Maybe it just doesn't match my
play
style. Yeah, maybe I don't know. On the other hand, as expected, the Chevalier with heavy magnetic bombers are
MVPs.
Yeah, really.
That's why I focus them with
impressive unit.
You have not seen the dice roll, but just two little cruiser, cheap cruiser. How much is one Chevalier with magnetic bomber?
I think it's 110. Yeah, 110.
Something like this. So two of those, and they can cripple anything at long range, and they can shoot okay at extreme range.
You can protect yourself from it because it ignores obscured.
Yeah.
And so
So you have a shroud? No. You're hidden behind an island? Neither.
Euro submarines? No. You just get shot.
Yeah. So it's
and it's 40 range. 40 inches range. So it's a lot.
So it's great, and this is the opposite of the Furieux, which is very powerful. But you really need to be in front of the enemy, and then you die.
Yeah, you have to play reserve rules. They're really controversial reserve rules. So, but
it's a very
if you want to be competitive, you have to play it.
Though now we have the island landing rules, and the Furieux is a landing vessel, so it means it can drop tokens. So maybe it will give it a little bit better role in this sense. But then the Chasseur doesn't have a good role. But that's another question. What did you think, Camille, of the game, of your list? The game, it was his very first game as well. How do you feel?
Well, for me, it's a lot of big surprise because I was looking at the rule from very far, but playing the game is really good because we're playing big boats, and big boats is cool.
Yeah,
especially
it's fun.
I love the Oriflamme despite these bad qualities.
Yeah,
I love the model, and seeing the Helios Blast and all the Sultanate things I can do really motivate me to continue to discover new things, new weapon like the lens of the Alliance. So a lot of fun. Big surprise.
He plays Alliance, but he also has some Sultanate models, not painted yet, but we're gonna have a second Sultanate player. I know we have Oriad as well. So we start to have more Sultanate player, which is great. And the Sultanate are coming this summer for Armored Clash, so we will, I don't know if you were gonna play this game. Yes, maybe we have our Sultanate player for Armored Clash. On my side, I was extremely pleasantly surprised by the Tanis. You remember, like you've seen it a few times on the channel, it was terrible. It was very, like it has Armored 7, 12 Citadel in the beginning. It was really bad, it sent not many replis. Now it's tough enough for its point cost. Like yes, it's 325, but it's tough enough. It can send SRS token not very far, yes, but with portals, if you start just having a Retage that sends like 3 portals around at 20 inches, it's a good combo, and then you have enough. I'm not sure if I published already my tier list. By the time you watch this video, I published the tier list for the Sultanate, and you know all the good I think of the Retage, and it's a great combo, as we have seen, with the Egyptians. Amazing on this side. The Carolus are a bit pricey for what they do, and if I were playing competitive, I wouldn't bring Carolus anymore. The Temiers are okay, but now they're a bit expensive for what they do. They lost a lot of what made them amazing before. Still a very good frigate, shouldn't be changed, but it's not the power as they used to be. The Topkapi and the Aydin with logistical support is great. The Aydin, 65 points, you gain logistical support, supply depot, you can attach, you get some good broadside if you have a portal around. Like it's a deal for 65 points. Topkapi is still quite good as well, especially with the portal rule, which allows it to outrange any other carrier in the game. Well, they didn't have carriers almost, so it didn't come into play, but it's very good. They can send their SLS tokens very far. And that might have been one of the reasons why it felt so lopsided, because when you play heavy on SRS, it's quite hard to compensate. Either you have no terrain and then it's torpedoes that are king and it's very difficult to hide, or you have some islands, you keep some SRS in the bag, and then it's hard to survive. One thing, the last thing I want to say about the Egyptians is now that the Hashashin can be attached with the Tani, first of all, it's amazing, and when you're at the good range, it really allows you for the Tanis to really punch up, especially with the slots on top of this and everything, but really having the Hashashin hidden between the shape of, so you cannot see them, except if you are real, you cannot see them, and that is amazing, or you're submerged as well. And then they can just go out, slide, shoot their torpedoes as well, shoot their gun batteries as well. It makes you 10 gun batteries with the 6 of the Tanis. That's a really great combo, and just this little thing is lovely to play. And that's all that I have to say. I really hope that the Turkish areas, which are currently, in my opinion, the worst areas of the game, until the Polish arrives. I'm kidding. But the Polish are not great so far, but they're still in beta. We are waiting to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I feel it better. But the carrier.
The carrier is great, but we'll not talk about the Polish yet until it's out of beta. Right now they have a great carrier and very cruisers. We'll see how it goes, but huge glow up of the Egyptians, very amazing. Plus the battle carrier, battle cruiser that we'll see soon. Order is still great, and even the Turkish are pretty good, really good. Now the Velid Kosem for the price of an Oriflamme, you have a Velid Kosem, and it's not at all the same. It has all-seat construction, sharpshooter, it has focused gunnery as well, and it has the equivalent of Fortunes of War as well. So it's a really good ship compared to the Oriflamme. Unfortunately, maybe the Oriflamme will get a glow up as well at some point. All right. That's it. We hope that you really enjoyed this video. As always, little comments so you can win an entire fleet or an army of Duegom for conquest. Also subscribe, share the video, tell us in the comments, since you're gonna put a comment anyway, what you think of this format, what you think of both factions, Alliance and Sultanate, and maybe tell us which factions you want to see next. And until the next video, take care of yourself, subscribe, and remember to keep things fair in love and war games. Bye!